Rampage. It was full of a lot of explosions and buildings, and I thought it was awesome.
Rampage was a great movie. There's a lot of action.
Do you feel like it's some animals rampaging?
I would call it San Andreas Part 2, basically. Same character. I want to get a whole discussion when we talk about why The Rock just doesn't play the same person who just finds himself in difference. He could be like James Bond, but each movie like doesn't connect to the previous movie. But Rampage, based on a video game, pretty fucking awesome. Definitely better than Pacific Rim. I'd say the last 2 weeks we've actually had pretty okay movies that we've watched consecutively, going on.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that earlier today. At one point I was saying, like, okay, I bet you this is going to be better than stuff we've seen for a while, like at least a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And they definitely like upped the game because this is almost supposed to be like a summer movie. Like we're getting really close by the time we get to Infinity War.
It felt like a summer movie. There was a lot of things going on that I was like, oh wow, this is a high budget, big time production value kind of thing. So it was really cool.
I think it's like it was definitely a well-made B movie, like for sure. The acting was over the top. The action was really crazy. The premise was ridiculous. But it was a really well done B movie, I thought. Yeah, like a lot of fun.
One of the better like a guy running in between buildings exploding and big animals movies I've seen in a while. Like how did he make it out of that? So I guess The Rock really should be our next president when you think about it that way.
He does. He can overcome anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Giant alligators.
This is the No Bullshit Show presented by What the Falk Show. Or
What the
Falk Show
sponsored by
sponsored by No Bullshit.
No Movie Pass, sub sponsor YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, and
thank you, YouTube.
Sign on to Patreon and donate some money, buy T-shirts.
I don't have a Patreon, but if you want to just check out my Twitter and my channel and give advice or get not
if
advice.
you want to donate money to Connor, just send it to me.
Make sure I'll get it.
If you're donating money to Brooks,
I'll pass it
down
to me. The line. If I feel like it.
No one believes that. You're more like a Ralph, and I'm more like a George. Everyone.
I like the names. I like the names that like. I think they're from the.
They're from the game. So yeah,
and it's like normal names, and they're like, oh, they're calling him Ralph.
Yes.
And actually, Ralph was my favorite. So he was the wolf one. If no one watched the movie yet or anything, not to spoil it, but there's a wolf and there's a gorilla. And there's the alligator thing.
Yeah.
And that's actually a big reveal. It's pretty cool when the alligator comes out. They like kind of save it towards the end.
Yep.
But it's worth seeing for itself because it looks pretty awesome. And I think it's awesome follow-up to San Andreas 2. Or not the part 2, but it's a follow-up to San Andreas because it's the same kind of action, same kind of great effects. But it was
the same director, so I mean that's what he really is. A fan of big budget disaster flicks.
Well, he had the guy who dies in the beginning of San Andreas. You saw he was like the FBI guy that comes in asking for all the files.
Yeah.
So they had some touch of San Andreas. It looked exactly the same. I mean, this was San Andreas too. Now for me, it's like which one do I like more? About an hour and a half in, before the third act started, I was thinking, okay, I like San Andreas more because it's just buildings exploding and things like that. Typical things you like seeing, all that old school Roland Emmerich CGI. But after the final boss battle between all the monsters, and then you said the crocodile comes out, I'd say that it kind of evens out. They kind of put the same.
Dude, I know what you mean. Yeah, the ending was strong.
Yeah, it was.
This one, and I think it actually made it elevated for me even further.
Kind of.
Yeah, it picked up at the end of that.
It picked up, and the fights were good. The action was good. The CGI was all well done. And I think what this had going for it above San Andreas is just having that monster means a lot because San Andreas is cool and it's more realistic. In a way, like a monster.
That's San Andreas' fault. That thing can really go at any time.
Yeah,
it's like make it
bad hurt or earthquake.
Yeah,
or disaster. But the thing is about that is all you're really seeing is like cracks in the ground and like you see people falling and getting hurt, but you're not really seeing this like crazy gorilla.
Yeah,
or this
punching a hole in the building.
Yeah, or the wolf with that fucking does that gliding 180 turnaround. I was like, damn, that was so fucking cool in the end.
I can hear how excited you were. You were making noises throughout the movie.
Yeah, too. No, you don't know.
You're making more comments.
Yeah, I was trying to call things like there's certain things in the beginning. I was like, okay, that's gonna be things. He's gonna say this at the end, and then he's gonna go from there.
I was laughing too a lot. I was just like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Well, I like how like they took stuff from the game and they kind of made it relevant to the story. Like the chill pill was like how they would like to try to neutralize them, and that was in the game. If you ate in the game, it turned you back to a human.
Okay.
And then there was like and it did have a lot of homages to the game. Like we saw the one take where he's smashing through a building. It's just like they used to play it on the Rampage video game. So
okay.
They did a good job. Like if you're a fan of Rampage, you're gonna like.
So
it.
the game was in there too. Remember?
Yeah.
I remember we saw the arcade
game
in one scene, just like in the background, and there was a lot of cool references to the game. I actually didn't remember any of it, but when it came up, like you were saying, there's another part too. Like I remember just the way they had the military.
Yeah.
Because in the game, you were always having helicopters come at you.
Yeah.
So they really put that in there too. That was really cool. Really cool.
So for people, you guys actually played the Rampage game, and people we talked about the older audience that even played the arcade game, they're probably going to be satisfied with this movie then.
Yeah, I think it would be a nice little.
It's a definite,
I guess it is
a badass movie.
It is,
especially for a video game movie. Like,
yeah, it's one of the more solid video game movies.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like at least halfway through the movie, I was like, I forgot it was a video game movie, and then I saw some of those things. I remember the chill pill thing too, and I was like, oh, this is a video game movie. It's like a really well done one. Like it reminds me, in a way, kind of like how Mortal Kombat was, where it was just like a really good homage. Yeah, also a B movie, and like it's a really good homage to a good game.
Yeah.
And they both have these really weird premises, but they put them into a movie somehow, and it was still cool.
Well, it's funny that I'll ask you. Yeah, I'll still ask you. It's like, so you think when they do more of a B movie style, where they're like accepting it's a video game, does it turn out better than if you want to do like a gritty?
I guess that's all.
Transition to a video game.
What makes it a B movie that's acceptable is the fact that it's a rock movie. You know?
Well, I don't know. But I'm saying like the over the top acting, dialogue. Like a lot of you won't find in a normal, like type of movie, but they ramp it up in this one because I mean, obviously Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character was so.
Oh yeah, he's so cowboy.
But I like it because
Negan.
It was
Negan. Yeah.
He was actually Negan the whole time.
He was my favorite dude. That guy was besides
Ralph.
Him,
Ralph.
What do you mean you could tell?
No, I could. I always could hear you make noise, and you were making a lot more hand gestures than you normally do in movies. And when he was talking, you had a lot more reaction. You like
hilarious.
Morgan. I thought he was good.
He's a great actor. That's Bruce Wayne's dad.
Oh yeah,
Batman's dad.
In the Reeve in Justice League. He is that bad.
Yeah, he's the fucking badass, and Negan, of course. But
Danny Duquette from Grey's Anatomy, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
Yeah, that's
how I got his start. Was on
I know, but that's like the worst thing he's done. I could think of.
No, it's probably the best thing he's done because that's what got him
pretty bad. Straight to DVD.
I think
movies.
Walking Dead was badass, and then what was the other one?
I mean, he did
Watchmen. Yeah, I was gonna say
Watchmen. Yeah,
that was a good one.
That's where I first saw him.
Yeah.
Was Watchmen.
There's also good in Shameless. He had an arc in Shameless as next.
He's awesome.
He's also in Supernatural.
And then what about Joe Bartello?
But more about him, like actually in the movie.
Underutilized, but
he's probably done 100 other things we haven't named. But in the movie, he was like really funny because he's like this agent.
Yeah.
And he's representing the government. He also has this character that's super like cowboy American.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it at all because I don't know if I didn't see all the trailers or if they really showed that part. But like all of a sudden he's in there and he's like kicking ass. He's making these cracks, dude. And he had the best lines in the movie too. Like he had every time he showed up, he would pull out some cowboy line. He's like that's like what my dad used to say. Assholes need to stick together. Like he would just say something so fucking awesome, and I was like, damn, this is what you need in these kind of movies too. Yeah. Like you want in your action movies, if you're going for this cheese, if you're going for this B movie kind of thing, which I don't know if it's like a B movie exactly. Those are like some of the older ones are like the shitty ones.
Well, okay,
it'd be like shitty graphics.
Yeah, okay, but like my definition of a B movie, it's just a film that's over the top, ridiculous. It doesn't have to be. The budget doesn't matter. Like I'll still say the argument Transformers to me is still a B movie, but it's just really
I definitely see how it's similar to Transformers too, for sure. And I just love Negan's character; like he was killing it. He had the perfect lines in the accent and the gun on his belt.
He was a cowboy from Texas. He was definitely from Texas.
He was like one of the best parts, besides like The Rock and the monsters.
And George
the monkey.
George was a good old ape. And then you got Naomi Harris coming in to add some British flavor to the movie. As a estranged geneticist who gets fired.
Yep.
Malin Ackerman finally moving over to her villainess roles that she's going to be able to play.
Yeah.
And then the girl in the beginning, the girl from Sugar and Spice, and then she was in Planet Terror.
I think Mary Shelton,
nice good call. She cut her hair, and she's trying to move into her next phase of her career as a butch girl.
Ackerman, like I think she'll do really good as like a villain. Like,
yeah,
I think like she should definitely be in like the next Ninja Turtle movie.
Well, did you guys ever see the movie Hackers?
Yes.
The way her and her brother, the villains in their office, those are talking. It really reminded me of the whole Hackers.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it.
I mentioned it. Yeah, it reminded me of a lot of Hackers.
The conversations.
The way their room was set up was
in this big Rampage.
In Rampage, big screen. Do you remember Hackers?
No, I mean I don't remember that specifically. I could tell. I could picture the style you're.
It's
talking
kind of
about,
just a big room.
There's a screen cutting between the combos.
They're trying to. They're trying to stop the heroes in the middle of them.
Yeah.
They're trying to solve the story or the mystery of whatever's happening. So
they had that in there, and that was a cool part of Rampage too. Like the military side they had in there.
Yeah.
And they talk about the bombs and that character coming in. And another thing, not to keep sucking off Negan in this movie, but the other part, like that tied in with him with the military was like he was like CIA or
I think he was above what they all were.
OG agent, just like agent, like almost like Men in Black,
kind of.
You know, like
he was like the guy who cleans up.
We said I'm OGA, other government agency.
Yeah.
So
that
was interesting. Cool. Obviously, how The Rock to get like why is he gonna be badass? So
that's like
you were also special forces. You know
that was awesome.
Pretty sure he's playing the character from G.I. Joe. That's why everything's redacted.
Well, that was such a cool part when he was like going over his list. Like not only do you get to see the background of The Rock, and he had like been a soldier or something, but the way Negan was going after him. I know I just keep calling him Negan. That's the best name.
You love Negan. I thought he was a villain in that show.
But Negan's like
he was.
He still died? No, he's still on the show.
I didn't watch it.
Spoilers. There's no spoilers. He's still alive. Anyways, his character technically in the comic, and I think he's more of like an anti kind of not hero. That's a bad way. He's just really bad at one point, and then like things happen. It's really. His character's crazy. Let's just say
it's
that.
Just like very gray. It's hard to say.
Complex human in a complex world.
In a really bad situation. Yeah, that was good.
It was good, and I think overall, anyone that likes an action movie, anyone that likes a rock movie, likes like summer blockbusters.
Let's compare it to other rock movies.
Okay.
Better than Hercules?
Yes.
Of course.
Brett Ratner.
Better than Faster?
Oh, I don't know, man. Faster's have his spares.
Have you seen Faster?
No.
Oh, dude,
you missed out. That's a good rock movie.
Great rock movie. Plus, shot in our hometown.
I think Jumanji is the last movie that Rock did.
They shot downtown.
Was Jumanji?
Which movie's better, Rampage or Jumanji?
That's pretty tough. I think Jumanji's still better because it's funnier. I like comedy more.
Okay.
I think Jumanji like more. Yeah, saw more entertaining because, like you said, there was a lull in the middle of the movie where we're like, well, why are we seeing anything rampaging happening?
Yeah.
And like it really wrapped up the end. Well, Jumanji's just like solid.
Do more Rampage.
Ooh.
Definitely Rampage. I don't even remember.
San Andreas or Rampage. That's the big question.
Those are pretty close. I would say it depends on your
gun to your head. Fake gun to your head. Which one?
Whoa, you answer that guy quick. You gotta answer. What are you gonna answer, bro?
He's legitimately scared right now.
I'm gonna have to say Rampage.
Gun to your head. Like what the fuck? Why would it get that serious about movies?
Choose one.
Gun to your head. Who you cast as the new Venom? Tom Hardy or replace him with The Rock? Go!
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Rampage or G.I. Joe 1, which he wasn't in.
He wasn't in.
Rampage or G.I. Joe 2?
Rampage.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man. That's tough for me because I loved the cartoon of G.I. Joe, and that movie was spot on.
That movie sucks.
Well, you're a fan of the cartoon then, because that was spot on of the cartoon that I grew up with, and I thought they did a great job. So I will say I like G.I. Joe 2 more.
The game plan or Rampage?
Where do you get these from?
They're all rock movies, bro.
Oh no! What about like Fast and the Furious or like the famous movies?
Hey, Game Plan is very famous. That's what got a Tooth Fairy role, and that's what got him Journey.
It's not better than Fast 5 or Fast 6.
Well, but it's hard to say too. Like that it's like a rock movie because like the Fast and Furious is like so many people in it.
Well, Fast 6 became, and then that point it kind of because now it is a rock movie.
Well, now
that's true.
Well, no, like it's spin-off now. He's not going to come back for the next Fast movie. He's going to do a spin-off with Jason Statham's character. That's their next movie. I don't think either will be in the one after that because they have such a big riff between Vin Diesel and him.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I still think overall, like Rampage, like Fast and Furious, there's just too many sequels. Like Rampage is fresh. Like I like it right now.
Do you think there'll be a sequel? I hope not.
I don't know. Probably not.
I don't think it wins the box office. I think Quiet Place still takes it this weekend.
I think
it's tough. Because word of mouth. No, because word of mouth. It's Quiet Place is blown up, guys.
It is.
It's really. I mean, 80 million is first weekend. I don't think Rampage comes close to that. I think Rampage is like 30 million.
Yeah, it doesn't do 80 million, but I don't know.
The Rock is a much bigger draw than. What's that one guy?
What's the guy that you hate? The Polish guy?
What's the guy who's in the Quiet Place?
What's his name?
I think he's in The Office.
What's his name? He's like, he's not the worst.
I know, like I'm supposed to know who he is. like he's supposed to be something.
Yeah. Jim on The Office.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jim Negan.
John.
You just like gotta get.
Although basic say The Office in the connection in Rampage, Pete from the last season of The Office was
The glasses?
The bad sibling.
Very true. Jake Lacey.
That's actually something I wanted to mention too. Those two as the villains were good.
Yeah,
they were like a good villain pair in this movie. He was so dumb.
He's like he's kind of like sleazy, kind of like ratty type character.
And that's why I mentioned the hackers reference, because that's exactly how the two villains were.
One
was the corporate fat cat. The other one was the one that doing the bidding of the other person.
Dude, I like that, and I like that vibe in the movie. Yeah. And then I didn't know the girl that's the main villain was in it. Like, she's in a lot of cool movies too. What's up? I was just saying.
Imposter, right? Thanks for listening, man.
Yeah, just a few. Late night. Yeah. Imposter wants to know how the movie was. We're saying it was great.
Saying it was solid.
Yeah. What caused Rampage scum soda? I think that's a joke. But obviously the monsters caused Rampage.
Technically, it was a program called CRISPR.
They definitely changed a lot from the original game, guys.
Genetically modified animals, and
they got a little backstory.
Use a lot of different traits from different animals to like create like a weapon, a weaponized
super animal.
A weaponized.
They put like a shark. They put shark in there. They put beetles. They put porcupines.
Like whatever the best traits. Like one trait makes you like heal. One trait makes you.
Well, do you notice how George was the kind of, as everybody probably figured out, is the good one, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have any extra, like,
dude,
both had spikes and like the flying swirl, and the crocodile had what was like a warthog, porcupine,
tail too, like a
tail.
Well, what was that dinosaur?
Was Stegosaurus? I guess that makes sense because they are closer. They are ancestors of the dinosaurs, so that makes more sense. Whereas George had nothing.
Dude, I thought
he was smaller. He was smaller.
And he was much smaller.
I thought that as well. Yeah, I noticed the size, and I was like thinking about the powers. Like, it's the whole movie. I was waiting for George to just like spit out a fireball. You know, like I didn't.
They didn't do that. Remember in the game, if you ate something that was bad for him, he'd spit out fire, or like he'd get like electric.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. Or maybe they'll say that for the sequel. But I don't really think there'll be a sequel. It's possible.
I hope not.
If it does well, and honestly, it's going to do well internationally for sure. It's going to do well.
Yeah.
I think it's like opening weekend max 40 million.
That'd be interesting.
I think
it'll do good. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I swear, I think A Quiet Place is going to steal a lot of that money still, because word of mouth is that movie's doing really good.
I'm glad we saw it though. I still don't think
it's pretty ironic that
Skyscraper's not going to be as entertaining. It will not be as positive coming back from Skyscraper here on the What the Folk Show live stream. Also part of the No Bullshit 2 live stream provided by What the Folk Show, sponsored by No Bullshit, edited by America.
Americans, for Americans, by Americans. If you don't like our country, get out.
Go to the right.
We should like get like a phrase, or like, if you don't like our country, get out. Like the whole crowd says that.
And send them with a copy of the movie Get Out. So they can enjoy it in a new country. I didn't like that movie. That was okay.
That's another overrated horror movie.
That is not an overrated horror movie. That movie deserves justice.
I definitely like The Quiet Place more than I like to Get Out.
Oh, that's what?
And I have on my side.
No, but The Quiet Place is
which one did you like more? Did you ever see Get Out? I can see you not watching Get Out.
I don't know. Comparing those two, I didn't think about it.
Get Out's a thriller. And
which would you rather watch right now? The country.
Get Out is bad, guys.
Whoa, dude. At least I respect you.
Oh shit, he's going wild.
Listen, I respect your Second Amendment right to own a firearm, but you not put it in my face, sir. That is not good gun safety.
You want to Get Out? You want Rampage?
I'd like to Get Out over them, of course, because like Quiet Places, like there's not even anything they listen to.
There's no jokes either, and you like funny stuff.
But I was like, Quiet Place is a very simple story. There's nothing changing the game about Quiet Place. It's just a well-told story. Yeah. With Get Out, like being one of the best thrillers since like Alfred Hitchcock time. Like he utilized those classic traits to kind of get that point across.
What about Flame Times? You want to start us off with ratings?
Rampage?
I thought about it a lot, dude. I've been debating.
I'll give it like a 6.2.
Okay, last question to the side. Movie that was good, but I want to switch it for you because you like this movie and it sucks. Which do you like more, Rampage or either of the new Ninja Turtle movies?
Ooh, fudge. That's tough because I do like the second one.
This is a shocking investigative report.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Ninja Turtles too. I know, but it was so much like the cartoon, and I love it. They had Bebop and Rocksteady.
You know, that was awesome. Your opinions,
Casey Jones was in it.
They're not right. That's the thing about your opinions.
Hey, this is America. We don't allowed to have our own opinions. It was an American show, apparently. So don't be a communist.
Okay, did you give your Flames at 6.2?
I said 6.2 out of 10.
That's kind of low for how much I thought you might like it.
I agree with you. The plot was like But the action was great.
Yeah.
The action was
It was
great.
like I feel like it was maybe like 15 minutes too long. There was like a 20-minute stretch there where no explosions happened, and it was all character
Where was
building.
Rampage?
It was like, I get it. You have to character build, but that's not what I came here for.
Yeah, I can't.
Dude, I thought about it, but I thought about that too. There's one part you probably remember where they're like after the crash, and they're like standing on the plane wing and they're
talking to each other,
like cord and shit behind
music
them.
was not
Like that's when I
saw that
out.
scene.
I was like, I gotta go pee. I'm like, this is like.
So they're definitely a key moment.
Good choice. That was the key moment.
I was waiting for it because I didn't want to go during cool stuff.
No,
but no, I think too. I mean, not to defend it too hard, but that stuff is kind of you need that in there.
No, it's plot.
Like
Plot
get that get that. Romance kind of going, or just the character development.
I hope they get together. He'd probably be an amazing father, right?
I mean, he's been taking care of gorillas his whole life, so yeah.
Gorillas and babies, very
Humans
similar.
are way easier than gorillas.
I don't know,
man.
Yeah,
Gorillas might be.
Probably.
I feel like a gorilla is a simpler animal. You just like have to.
You have to do sign language to talk to gorillas.
Baby can't really murder you.
But in Quiet Place, you have to do sign
Gorillas
language to
can
stay
murder
alive.
you. It's true.
Place.
And you have a beard.
A baby can, well, not a baby, but a small child can definitely kill you. I just read an article, a 3-year-old shot its mother could show the gun out.
Who had better facial hair, John Krasinski in The Quiet Place or George the ape?
I thought you were going to say Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I think Krasinski had a better beard, but George the CGI
better
ape
muscles.
he had better. He was a better actor. He just had a better facial expressions. I know they were not real.
It's definitely motion
animated.
capture, right? I think it was motion capture.
Well, I think originally it was Amanda Suit, but then once it started bigger, they definitely did like a motion capture.
I think they did.
Dude, there's one other guy I wanted to mention in the movie. I kept wanting to say this joke, but do you remember like his friend with the glasses?
Yes.
And the nerd.
Benny fucking Hanna.
He's that one guy from that one movie. He's like giving handies. No, that's Wolf of Wall Street. I'm talking about the other movies that. Wolf of Wall Street's actually way better. Yeah. But
Horrible Bosses.
He's in Horrible Bosses. He comes up for asking for money.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's like, quit giving handies.
Yeah. No more handies.
That's all I could think of when I see that guy. But that's great. Like that guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
And they stuck him in.
Has that good to that little solid career?
I think I gotta ask Kyra. I gotta ask my fiance. I think that's supposed to say now. But the blonde girl in the beginning, I'm pretty sure she was a really weird character in Harry Potter.
I think I know you're talking about it. She was the one that was like
odd.
She like sat in the bathtub with him.
Kind
and
of.
It was like really weird.
She and I haven't seen her in years. It's like, wow, what's she been doing? You know. So she's
I noticed.
She was trying to get with the Rock. You know.
Yeah,
totally.
Talking about submission, it was like
he wasn't having it, dude.
It was not. It was his dogs, his animals.
And black chicks.
Okay, George, go ahead and try soda. A drinks it, but now try soda. Go. Now that's good soda. It's like a party in my mouth. Reacts to soda, turns into ape. Oh,
They just got in the game.
That's it. He drinks a soda and becomes an
I'm pretty sure that's how they got to get there.
They're all humans.
They're all humans first, and then they turn into giant ants.
And Prosser, the number one fan of the
Yeah, man, you know your stuff.
We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you.
Yeah, good show. I think it was a good movie. Would you do the ratings? Like,
yeah, I just
heated his.
I did 6.2.
Do you mind?
Connor next.
I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it.
Tough. I know. I put you up there. Gun to your
Gun
head.
man.
Gun to your head. What are you gonna rate it?
So
Do you want to
realistic.
live? Do you want to make it to your wedding?
I'm gonna give it a 3.2 flames out of 5 or
Okay.
a 6.4
That's
flames out
fair.
of 10, just based on monster
fair.
smashing and like times where I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They actually want me to see his body when he's still jumping through a building, and I was like, that's pretty good.
And not for the grenade launcher. I mean, solid.
Yeah,
Dude, when he was shooting at him at the end, I was like, oh my god, he's going up against it. Okay, anyway. But no, that's funny. I was really close to all you guys. Like, I was on the verge of giving it a 4, but I want to stick with 3.5.
like 7.
Solid.
I thought about a 7, but I did slightly below that.
3.5 out of 5 flames.
So is it average? It's
but
about
like a really
6.5 guys.
Yeah, but a really strong one too. It's like, because I think 3s can be like better or worse. This is like a very on the strong side. It's just, it wasn't, there's not like much to it either.
Yeah.
It's like
And you should
fun.
watch this one in the theaters. I think
Yeah.
it's a fun movie to watch in the theaters.
You're saying it's solid. It's not written like a big pen. It's written like a Sharpie. Like,
It's not the
you're
best movie I've
switching-
ever seen, but it's very good.
Oh, little trickster over here.
Anything else you want to talk about? Anything we watched
Well, we
recently?
didn't get any trailers. This was so weird.
We didn't get any trailers.
They went straight to the movie, guys.
It was good and bad. I mean, you like to see them, and then
I was really hoping to see Meg, the trailer for Meg.
Of course you were.
Well, I want to see it in the big screen because it looks like a fun movie.
I love that book so hard. They're just gonna destroy it.
Well, I want to talk about just
Already Jurassic Park.
what's next week, because you were saying there's a bunch of movies next week. And I
It's
don't
really
know.
all that I Feel Pretty and
Super Troopers.
Super Troopers 2.
So
Those are the two?
Those are
Okay.
like Super Troopers 2.
Yeah. I'm not gonna see Super.
He really wants to see it, guys.
What if
Just tell
your
you right
wife
now.
wants to watch it? Does she want to watch it? Let's get what she
Babe.
wants.
Baby, you want to be on the podcast?
Do you want to watch the Amy Schumer movie? Did you see the trailer? Is that funny to you?
Is it I Feel Pretty or Super Troopers 2?
I don't know how to see the trailer.
Oh, okay. She needs to see the trailer.
I'm pretty confident. If she watched the trailer, she's going to prefer.
She probably would think
like-
I Feel Pretty just because Super Troopers 2 is like more of a guy movie.
It's a very cult classic.
Yeah, and it's
sequel.
also that sequel part. But I told her we're gonna watch Super Troopers. I got Super Troopers ready to watch, and we're
Ready
gonna
to
watch
lock
that.
and loaded.
Yeah. I want to watch that again. I recommend everyone else
You wanna watch
watching,
Schmal?
especially M. Prosser, my homie, my buddy.
Yeah,
Um,
process.
My homie.
But yeah, I thought there was maybe other movies, so I was just saying what's next week, and then obviously the next week after that is Infinity War. There's no like debating about that.
We'll see if I'm going to go. I don't know.
He's got a little bit more. Oh, well, we do actually have the NFL draft too.
That's
Let's
true.
say that. But we only really care. Well, I care about
But nowadays they like have the whole draft on YouTube and a few hours later, so it's like it's not the
As long as you
same.
have a phone, you can like.
Well, I just want to see
keep it on your
the
phone
actual
at
tense
least.
take because it's for their Oakland Raiders.
Talking about it and the reaction, but we're gonna watch Infinity War is gonna take precedent.
Yeah, it's going to be a big day too. Like, I know we were talking about some of the details, but overall, we're obviously going to stream again. Anybody watching, we'll have another stream.
Yeah.
But I think I'm
Now
thinking
I'm my report about all the Marvel movies I've been watching. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
why don't
we're
you
gonna go in
why don't you
deep.
nerd out and just give us a little preview of what you've been doing with your life of no life, which is life. I think
I'm
it's
just doing the
cool.
research for our audience.
I'm just
He's doing
hoping
research. He's doing research.
You're putting in the time.
I'm putting in the time. Yes, I have decided to watch all of Marvel properties, including the ones before.
Anything that is a Marvel
Everything
property.
that's Marvel owned, even before Marvel Studios.
Does that mean you did the bad Fantastic Four
Oh,
movie?
yeah, I've done that.
I watched those.
No, I mean the bad one. Like,
Oh,
Fantastic
of course you did.
Can't find that one.
can't
But
find
I
it.
checked
What
online.
about Captain America?
Oh, 1971?
Yeah.
I've not watched that one yet, so I guess
Okay,
you're
so
right.
you're a failure.
I'm not familiar. Well, I'll just add it to the list before I start the new
Which
ones.
ones have you watched so far?
And I also need to watch Dolph Lundgren Punisher then.
True. Which ones have you watched so
I
far?
watched the Punishers, the Ghost Riders, all the Spider-Mans,
You started with those.
Fantastic
You
Four.
started with those ones.
all 3 Fantastic Four movies, and now I'm in the X-Men phases. And I still need to watch Elektra, Hulk, and now
Did
Captain
Spider-Man
America.
include the new Spider-Man?
Yeah, I watched the Amazing Spider-Mans and the Tobey Maguire ones, which
No, but Homecoming?
no, yeah, that's
Because that's its own
Homecoming's
timeline.
that's in the Marvel property owned.
Okay.
So I would still say this: Spider-Man 2 still holds up. Spider-Man 2 is still a legit.
Mhm.
I think it's better than some of the Marvel movies now.
Yeah.
Like it's a legit movie.
What
I
about
like
some of
Dr.
the, you've watched a lot of movies. What about some of these that you had initially were like, oh, this is pretty bad 90s, early 2000s superhero movie, and one that you've watched recently, you're like, okay, this is actually better than I remember.
Blade, well, all the Blades were pretty decent.
They were
Like Blade 1 and 2 really solid.
Solid.
And Blade 3 was one I didn't like initially, but then rewatching, I was like, you know what? For what it is, it's not really that bad.
told you.
And well, just hearing all the backstory behind what happened on set, like
Yeah.
I didn't like it for all that reasons because
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes just went too crazy on set and like
He did.
had people call him Blade and he called Ryan Reynolds a cracker the entire time, and that's what I call that.
True.
So
Though.
it's like
awesome.
So it's like he really lost any kind of like a fight with the director. So it's like a lot of things maybe do not like him. But I'm rewatching it as just like, okay, I'm just watching as a fan. Not bad.
Okay.
I mean, Ryan
I
Reynolds
like Blade.
solid.
I like Blade.
And then I watched the terrible X-Men Origin Wolverine movie. That movie, I don't even know how it got
It's a
made.
wonderful film.
That was
I don't know what
crazy.
you're talking about.
But for the real Marvel universe, or not real, but the closer ones,
Yes,
what do we think we need to watch leading up to Infinity War? I think
all of them. You gotta watch them all. There's 31 hours of movies.
I think you could get away with watching Thor 3
I think Guardians,
and
Thor.
Black Panther.
Well, then you watch all the Avengers at least. Avengers
Yeah.
1, Avengers 3.
I'm talking like I'm just talking more realistically. Like you're obviously watching every single one ever
Yeah.
made ever.
Yeah,
But
because this is gonna retire
for,
certain characters.
For the normal
For people,
out there.
there's 2 weeks to the movie. Like I'm saying, okay, there's like definitely Black Panther and the last ones. You could even go back to Civil War. I think everything
Okay,
from
if you
Civil
really want to
War.
do it, you could do. It would be Guardians 1 because that's the first that really mentioned and finished. Now Thor 2. I guess it's really only Steve Thanos.
I think I have the answer.
Avengers 1.
I think it's anyone that had Thanos in it.
Yeah, so Avengers 1.
So
Avengers movies then. maybe.
Avengers movies,
Yeah,
Guardians,
You could just watch Avengers 1, Avengers 2.
What's the after credit scene where he's like,
Thor,
I'm gonna do it myself?
Thor 3.
I think Thor 3 is the good
Avengers
one too.
2.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and
So
Black
very end
Panther
of Avengers 2 is
2.
when he-
Like I feel like Black Panther. It doesn't seem like it, but they're going to be in it a lot. So it's like
well, yeah, I guess
it's the one right before
I'll
it.
do it myself. That's the end of Avengers.
That's no the first one. The first and that one you finally see his face in the last, and then Avengers 2 is when he gets the glove.
Oh, do you know what sucks? I just thought of that though. You can't really see Black Panther unless you go back to the movies. It's still in the movies.
Civil War, I guess you have to watch too.
That's true, actually. You can't.
See, you gotta watch them all, man. I'm telling you, 31 hours, well spent.
That was kind of too bad on that. I wonder. I bet you they planned initially to have it out so you could watch it because they would have made a lot of money on red boxes and people buying the DVDs to watch it before. Yeah, to watch Black Panther before they see Civil War just to refresh. But I bet you because they had no idea that it would be such a overhyped, gross 2018
it's possible. Yeah.
box office success that it stayed in theaters.
You know, it's
longer.
made more money than Titanic, though.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Titanic
movie.
Have you seen Bill Paxton in Titanic? There's Billy Zane.
I mean, I love me some Billy Zane.
Billy Zane slaps a woman and he gets away with it.
Yes.
So he's actually awarded for it.
You can have the both.
He's living the American dream.
Kathy Bates.
Well, okay, Black Panther was a decent origin story, and it
Just
just
like
kind of,
made everyone in it.
I mean, it's it's definitely has a lot of more. It's definitely social undertone
Kate
for sure.
Winslet.
Yeah, her one boob.
Kate Winslet.
That one boob scene.
Their
got me going.
awkward nipples. Their awkward nipples.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, whatever.
Yeah.
All the other people.
Yeah.
Actually, at that time, he kind of was like that.
You know what I have a bone to pick is that there was a guy named Connor in this movie, and he was the worst one in the movie.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so small. And this guy is the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. He's been annoying in every movie I've seen. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not a big fan of your acting. Anyways, he's Connor, and that made me mad. I haven't got a cool Connor in a long time.
I'll say this. No, I'll say this.
No.
It's true. It's because, honestly, like, you grew up in a time where Connor was like a rarer name, and it was a cooler character. You get John Connor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you got your name from, right?
Yes.
And then there's like
John Connor and Connor McLeod from the Highlanders.
Connor McLeod. Okay, awesome movies. The Highlanders. If you guys haven't seen those, see those. But then I would think, honestly, the way hipsters have turned the name into it.
Yeah.
They're making like
now it's like a douchey softy.
Like always a Connor in movies now too. It's like
dude, I was gonna say
that's 2 movies in a row. That's got to be a record for my time. Bonkers and this movie.
What it is it's the Connor name. It's now, and I don't necessarily think this but it's just like they use it as like a cheesy like white boy name.
It is totally.
It's being used as this like
totally is.
It's new. It's
like the hypocritical
like, Ryan
waspy like
Brian
stereotype.
I was thinking Brian too.
Obviously, like that probably gets under your skin. Or you don't care, but it's just like
a little bit.
It's like it's just it's not on you. It's just for some reason that's what's going on.
Exactly. I was ahead of my time.
You just think you're hoping those are OR instead of ER.
Exactly, because I'm
He's an
Connor.
But dude, you know, now that you say that, just real quick, one thing I thought of was how they had Brooks in a movie recently.
Yes.
In Game Night.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
They're using my name, and then a lot. They say a lot in that movie.
They do.
And it reminded me of that. And then also, on a side note, in this movie tonight in Rampage, there was a part that was in Belleville, Illinois, like where the
the Air Force
where he steals the helicopter the first time.
Yes.
There's a point, and she said, I don't know if I missed it because it was right when I came back from the bathroom, but it had the city. It said Belleville, Illinois. That's like where I was born.
Oh, wow.
It's so obscure. Like I was like, what? She told me it was in there. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And it's because like the main villains were going to Chicago.
Yeah.
So they wanted like something like
closer, Air Force
like on the way. Yeah, there's Air Force bases out there.
Yeah.
And but that was just so random. I was like, damn, that's so like this year is my year.
If we're name dropping, hold on. I finally get to see my name, Miguel in a movie, Coco. Boom. That's the kid's name.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the first time I've seen.
Pretty sure Narcos.
Well, I'm saying not a drug dealer and not a criminal or gangster. Not the.
So we've all been in movies this year.
Miguel's finally getting to a positive name, so I'm
a lot of
Miguel's
in movies.
We've all been in cool movies this year.
I'm great just naming
LA Strangler.
He was named Richard Rodriguez.
Think of that show, The Bridge. There was a few Miguels. Doing a lot of Miguels, bro.
Anyway,
you're not breaking new ground.
He's just saying that because he's just guessing that those are random.
He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean
it.
Run.
Rapid fire here on the What the Fuck Show live stream that also includes the No Bullshit live stream. Who wins in a fight, Godzilla or the crocodile monster from Rampage?
I think Godzilla's bigger.
I think Godzilla's I'm telling you, fire breath.
Who wins, Mighty Joe Young or George?
Oh shit,
George.
Because they remind me kind of Mighty Joe Young.
Mighty Joe Young wasn't that big, right?
Well, he came out. I saw it in theaters. Pretty awesome.
Well, I mean the size.
Yeah,
he actually was the same size, wasn't he?
Well, that's what I think. George was kind of small. Yeah, and Mighty Joe was like 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. I think George though, because George took a spear and he fought some of them crocodiles.
Okay, rapid fire here on the Folk Show. No bullshit live stream. The wolf from Helena's wolf from Thor 3,
Okay.
or the flying wolf from Rampage, who wins in a fight or a race?
Ooh.
Both. Rampage. Ralph wins both.
Really?
Yeah, he can glide.
I'll say Ralph definitely wins the race.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a good fight because Hellman's dog is undead.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
tough. That's
Okay.
tough.
Who wins in a fight? The Cloverfield alien monster,
Okay.
or any of the Rampage?
All three.
Quiet Place monsters look similar to the Cloverfield
John
monsters.
Krasinski's beard.
John Krasinski's beard wins every time.
Okay. Okay.
The Quiet Place is just gonna come up from now and forever.
And forever.
Forever.
It's ironic though because you're saying it's supposed to be a quiet place. Yeah, we keep talking about it.
We do keep talking about
Fight
it.
Club. That's what we're talking about. Fight
The one
Club.
thing about Quiet Place, one thing I put in just so they know, like, they're always running and walking on the sand.
Yeah.
There's a few parts of that where he's running on the sand. We can hear it in the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like the aliens who have really good hearing would have heard it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I just
Oh yeah.
some
There's a
follow-ups.
lot of
You're telling
there's
me
a lot of plot
nobody
holes.
the entire time
Yeah.
farted or sneezed?
Or yeah,
Dude, I was thinking that. Or what about the electricity? How come they have electricity at that farm?
that's kind of tough. I
Well,
thought
the
maybe
generator technically would work, but
It would be
can't
loud.
make a
it'd be
noise.
very loud
Or
generator.
like, why didn't they live by the river?
Okay. Well, that was easy. Yeah. As soon as he showed it, I was like, why don't they just have a cabin right here by the river? Maybe the moisture was
Or like
back
a
there.
soundproof
Really
room.
blunt.
How do they have sex? Like
Very
it's gonna be some
quietly.
A
boring,
lot of biting.
like just boring.
Just bite down if she's having.
We just cover her mouth.
quiet sex. You can't.
There's a
No
gag, bro.
foreplay.
Yeah, I think I could see how it could work.
I think that was well, at least more plausible. I think like, why do they try to find like a recording studio
Mhm.
that has a soundproof room? They just live in that.
Yeah. Why don't they just listen to the next week's show when we watch Super Troopers 2, or check this out on SoundCloud? No, not iTunes. Or iTunes? No, not on iTunes.
YouTube.
Or Stitcher? No,
You're on
not on
YouTube.
Stitcher.
We just,
On YouTube with the
You
Folk
missed,
Show.
you missed
On all
those.
social media, my WTF show.
So are you officially mainstreaming, mainlining?
I don't know.
YouTube?
I mean, I don't get to add the editing as much, and I don't get to add like the music before. But overall, it's a lot easier for me not to have to get a show, clip it, edit it,
Yeah.
and send it. Like more like what you do. I don't want to.
This is the show, and then we just.
although, are
put-
you
and then
losing
it's just
some
on
of your
there.
personal touch by joining YouTube?
I think it's better. I'm getting more personal touch when I get to react to comments like M. Prosser.
I do like that.
I get to do my rambling and throwing out stats that people don't know, and like which taco to use, a Del Taco or
Gun's back. That gun is back.
There's so many guns in this
I got
room.
2 guns. I got 2 guns now.
Oh my God.
I didn't bring any gun. God damn it.
I respect your Second Amendment rights, but I refuse to answer your question.
Thank you. No questions. I appreciate you. Send any questions you have on the What the Falk Show, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, anything.
Mhm.
Thanks for fucking listening, Brooks.
Yeah.
At no Brooks Heatherly on Twitter. No
Check
bullshit.
it out,
Thanks for having this
midnight,
idea. This has
31.
been fun each week. I'm glad that we know each other and we like each other enough at the moment to go watch movies with each other.
Good shows,
each week.
good times, good people. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Thanks,
America.
guys.
Peace out. Thanks for fucking listening. Rampage.